Congenital heart disease refers to a condition where there is a problem with somebody's heart which has existed since before they were born. We know that about 8 out of 1,000 babies will be born with a heart problem. This is less than 1%. But the problems that result from congenital heart disease can be life-threatening. They need urgent care from the NHS and may need treatment throughout the rest of their lives. The NHS can do more to help people with heart problems, but it's still quite a rare disease and needs very specialist care. For children, operations are only carried out in 10 hospitals around England. There is more work carried out in different hospitals for adults. We think there are currently approximately 25 hospitals that perform heart surgery on adults. We know that the results in England of heart surgery and other procedures on people with congenital heart disease compare with the best in the world. The chances of survival are as good as anywhere in the world, and more than 98 in every 100 will survive, which is very good indeed. But knowing whether the patient is going to survive or not is only part of the story. What is really important is that we understand more about the quality of care which is received and the quality of life enjoyed by the patient following surgery. Are they free from disability? Do they have a good quality of life? Was their experience of care good? Did it make a difference where in the country they were treated? The reason we are looking at this service is to try and understand if there's anything about the way we organise a service which makes a difference to the results and the future to life of people with congenital heart disease. Are there things we should be doing to change the way the service is provided within the money that's available to give everyone the best possible chance of a life which is as good as it can be? That is why we are running the review. In our work we are trying to do 3 things. Firstly, within the money we've got, we want the best quality care by getting the best possible outcome for patients. This doesn't just mean having fewer deaths, it also means making sure patients survive with a good quality of life. Secondly, we want to make sure that right across the country people have equal opportunity to get really high quality care. So it doesn't matter where in the country you live or when you need to access care, you will be provided with consistently high quality care. Thirdly, we want to make sure that patients' experience of their care is really good. That covers lots of things. Whether you know what's going on with your care. For children, making sure that mum and dad have a good idea of what's going on with your care. Making sure that services are easy to get to, even if sometimes you have to travel. And making sure that we're doing everything possible to make the experience as least stressful as possible, including making sure someone is available to help when things don't go so well. The review which we are doing has 6 main objectives. The one that most people are talking about is the standards we have developed. Standards are a way of setting out what a really good service looks like, and it's about taking time to say bit by bit, these are all the parts of a really good service. That's why we are consulting at the moment. We've come up with a description of a really good service and we want to test it. We want to ask people what they think and make sure we've got these standards right. The second objective is about understanding how many people really need this care at the moment and how many are likely to need it in the future. Once we have the standards telling us what a really good service looks like and we've got the numbers telling us how many people might require this care in future, we can start to design the shape of the service. Objectives 3 and 4 are about how this service is going to be structured and how we will commission these services going forward. Our 5th objective is to make as much information as necessary available as easy as possible, so people who are buying services and the patients who receive these services can understand whether care is being provided to the right standard across the country. Finally, the 6th part of our work is about early detection and diagnosis of heart problems. If a baby has a heart problem and is going to need care when it is born, the sooner we know this the better. At the moment, only about 1 in 3 babies who are going to have a heart problem are detected before they are born. We need to do something about that, so we're working with other partners to try and ensure that everyone in hospitals gets the right training and that we're able to monitor detection rates across the country. All these 6 things together make up the Congenital Heart Disease review which we are doing, and when these parts come together, then we will have the best chance of improving services for congenital heart disease across the country. The standards are looking at a range of issues including patient experience, how it feels to get this care, the information you get, how easy it is to access services, how families are looked after, what the facilities are like, and so on. What's special about this work is that it's the first time anybody has produced a single set of standards for adults and children and for all the care they'll need right through their lifetime. More than that, we now have a single organisation covering the whole country who is responsible for buying these services, and that is NHS England as the commissioner. That gives us an opportunity nobody's had before of trying to drive up standards across the whole country and get the best possible care for everyone. There are 13 different parts of our standards in order to make it easier to understand. These are covered in more detail in our other videos. At the moment, we are consulting on these standards, and we want people to let us know if there are any problems with them or any other things which we need to consider. Our consultation is due to run until mid-December, after which we will consider all the responses we've received and consider whether there are other things we need to do to change the standards. Once these changes have been agreed, we will have an approved set of standards which we are going to use to buy care on behalf of all patients in England. Alongside these standards, we have something called the service specifications. That is the extra bit we need to turn the standards into the contract, so that when we buy the care from hospitals on behalf of patients, we can say this is what we want to buy and this is what it needs to be like for it to be really good. Things will not change overnight. If big changes are needed, then we will have conversations with hospitals about how these changes are implemented. Although some changes may be implemented immediately following the standards being agreed, there may be some which are not implemented until April 2016. We would love to hear what you think of the standards. If you would like to engage further with this review, there are a number of things you can do. If you are interested in more details about the standards, you could watch one or all of our 3 videos which run through the standards in more detail. Alternatively, you could download our full consultation document, our easy read version, or the entire standards and specifications for adults, children or both. We are also running a number of events across the country throughout the consultation period, and you can attend one of these to find out more. You can complete our online questionnaire, which will then be considered as part of the consultation. If you can't manage the online form, you could also send us your thoughts in a letter, though we prefer to get answers online because then they're easier to analyse. Links to all of these resources on our website are included in the description to this video. Thanks for listening.